in control. Libya's foreign ministry has denied that Gaddafi and his family have any assets in Switzerland. Authorities there have said they'll freeze whatever assets the Gaddafis have in the country. And the West now appears to be uniting in its opposition to the Libyan government. US President Barack Obama has been speaking to world leaders about the situation in Libya. We'll bring you more on that in a moment, but first, Lawrence Lee has this report.
The latest town to experience heavy fighting isn't very far from Tripoli, and that perhaps explains why protesters from AlJazeera have told AlJazeera that the army came to the town and opened fire on them with heavy artillery, their hunting rifles no match. Witnesses said at least 100 were killed, and they expected the army to return after dark.
We asked them to stop all their fires, but they didn't reply. The shooting was direct to the people. They shot the people in the head and in the chest, direct. So they were trying to kill the people, not terrifying them.
If that's one version of events, the other came from Gaddafi himself. He turned up by telephone on Libyan television with a message to AlJazeera. He said the town had been infiltrated by Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, drugs and madness.
The demands come from Bin Laden. You, AlJazeera people, are substituting the popular and Jamahiriya system with Bin Laden. Bin Laden cells have been operating here for months. His operatives are provoking and brainwashing your children, inciting them to launch attacks. The enemy perpetrating the killings of our children, operating from mosques or elsewhere. Bin Laden and his operatives are providing your children with hallucination pills. Those are the true perpetrators. Arrest them and bring them to court.
The Gaddafis are certainly not short of opinions on what's happening in their country. While his father was blaming Al-Qaeda and drugs for the revolts, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi once again accusing the outside media of invention and lies.
We have to understand that the conspiracy against us is not coming from Libyans. It is coming from our Arab brothers. They have used their media to spread lies and deception. Tomorrow, all media is coming and they will film everything. There is also an investigation committee, which includes foreigners. You will discover that we were deceived. You will find that this was the biggest lie to Libyans in our history.
As well as all these observations from the Gaddafis, Libyan TV has been showing other pictures aimed at putting the fear into the opposition. It isn't clear whether these men are alive or dead, though at least one is still moving. There was a message as well: give all your weapons in and we won't harm you. It's unlikely to be believed by the protesters. It's hardly surprising the government wants the opposition to agree to a weapons amnesty. These images from Misrata in the west, said to be the scene of new fighting after falling to the opposition, suggest the uprising has as many heavy weapons as the army. During his latest address, Gaddafi offered the opinion that Libya's tribal leaders, some of whom have been meeting in Al-Baida, should be taking more responsibility for local government and controlling their young people, though here they said they were more interested in the United Nations coming to save them. Gaddafi said he himself had become more of a symbolic leader of Libya.
As the Arab proverb says, if you carry a leaking water bag, it will make your back wet, and it is your responsibility. It is none of my concern anymore.
This was an address different in tone and content to his speech of Tuesday night. Wishful thinkers might hope it sounded almost valedictory. Or perhaps in arguing that he isn't really leader and therefore isn't in charge, it was simply a denial of responsibility.
May peace be on AlJazeera and its people.
Lawrence Lee, AlJazeera.
Well, tribal leaders in eastern Libya have been meeting to denounce the government in Tripoli. Among them were military commanders who have refused Gaddafi's orders to open fire on protesters. Security in the east of the country is believed to be largely in civilian hands. Tribal elders and army deserters say they're forging a new future for Libya. Among those diplomats who've pulled away from Gaddafi is Libya's Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations, Ibrahim Dabbashi. In an interview with AlJazeera, he demanded the UN take a stronger position. Dabbashi also called on the international community to impose a no-fly zone over Libyan cities.
We are very worried and we reject any foreign military intervention in Libya. That's why I came here today to put a call out there after the events we saw in Zawi today. I address my words directly to my dear two generals, Al-Mahdi al-Arabi and Muhammad al-Isawi, because their role are crucial at this stage. And I say to them that you have proved your courage to us in the past, and you are known for protecting the people from mercenaries and those who kill our people. Your honor and family and military pride does not allow you to go against the will of the people. Especially at this historical juncture, a choice has to be made between good and evil. Your brethren have fallen dead on the streets of Libya. Today, tens were killed in the town of Zawiya under your watch. How will you face God? There is now a kind of unacceptable intervention by the UN in an attempt to impose a no-fly zone over the Libyan cities. We are confident in the power of our people, and this is the reason why I have urged the two generals to act. We have enough willpower, enough courage and people and resources to fight against this oppressive regime. But we want protection from the air because Gaddafi has mercenaries from Serbia and Ukraine, and they are using him against the people in Libya. Abdurrahman Shalqam is still the representative of Libya at the UN, and I also continue to hold my position alongside my colleagues. But our first demand is the imposition of a no-fly zone over Libya. That's our key demand.
Well, let's get more on all of these developments from Ibrahim Sahad. He's the Secretary General of an opposition group called the National Front for the Salvation of Libya. He joins us from Washington, D.C. As I'm sure you've heard more reports of more towns in the West falling. Is this regime now close to collapse?
Well, it's a matter of days, if not hours, when we see this regime gone forever. It is the will of the people, is victorious people, and Gaddafi is losing. His aides start to defect, and they are defecting more and more. In every hour passing, the uprising is gaining grounds, Gaddafi losing grounds, but still Gaddafi poses a threat to the Libyan people. He is a most brutal person. He is internationally certified terrorist, declared as a terrorist in international arena. He committed a lot of crimes against other countries, and he committed so many crimes against Libyans. Now he is committing a mass murdering the Libyan people. It's a genocide.
Right.
In Libya.
Will the end be a bloody one with perhaps opposition protesters, some of them now armed, trying to move in and take the city by force?
Well, if they do not have any other alternative, that's apparently what they're going to do. But I think that that will not happen. I'm looking
what do you think will happen? What's
Gaddafi.
The alternative?
Yeah, the Gaddafi is not going to commit suicide because he is a coward. He cannot do that. And I think he either die or some of his aides kill him.
Is his claim of Al-Qaeda being involved being taken seriously by anyone?
Well, this is nonsense. Nobody took that seriously. Libya never has Al-Qaeda as part of it.